Secretary Convener of the event, Ms. A. Bhavana, daughter of Engineer G. Subba Rao, past President and Council Member of IEI, past Chairman, past Honorary Secretaries, Professor B. Ramana Naik garu, members of Telangana State Center Committee, corporate members of IEI, family members of G.V. Subbarao garu, distinguished guests, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I feel it is a great privilege and honor to be amidst this August gathering. On behalf of the today's chairman's absence, I will be chairing this session and extend a warm and hearty welcome to the keynote speaker and all of you to this engineer G.V. Subbarao 9th Endowment Lecture on Challenges in Delivering Infrastructure Projects in Border Areas. Today, I am very happy to be associated with this memorable event. I am glad to inform that the Telangana State Center of the Institution of Engineers has been regularly organizing 21 endowment lectures every year on the birthdays in honor of the eminent engineers like Engineer V. Subbarao, Engineer M. Tirupati Reddy, Professor K. Gopichand, Dr. K. Purushottam, Engineer G. Prabhakar, Engineer Koka Krishnamohan Rao, Engineer S. Balakrishna Reddy, Engineer G. V. Subbarao, Engineer T. Hanumantarao, Engineer A. P. Ranganatha Swami, and Dr. S. Raghavachari, and Dr. Narla Tatarao, Engineer Matur Gopal Rao, Engineer Gurram Kodreddy, Engineer Atlur Venkateshwar Rao, Engineer R.L. Raju, Dr. John A. Murray, Dr. N.V.R. L.N. Rao, Engineers L. Venkatakrishna Iyer, K.V. Srinivas Rao, and M.L. Swami, Dr. A. Ramakrishna, and Engineer I. Basavaraju. All these legend engineers are every year we are conducting endowment lectures in the name of during their birthday. The Telangana State Center Committee has unanimously resolved at its special meetings held on 26th August 2016 to organize an endowment lecture in the birthday of the eminent engineers. And this Dr. Subba G.V. Subbarao on 19th June every year. I take this opportunity to put forth a few words about the veteran Engineer G. Subbarao garu, FIE. Engineer G. Subbarao, FI, born on 19th June 1931, obtained his bachelor degree from IIT Kharagpur, worked for about 37 years on planning, design, construction of roads and related projects in the following countries, especially India, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Engineer G.V. Subbarao was engaged in various projects in different periods, such as United Nations and World Bank projects, and served as a team leader in United Kingdom and Germany. He worked for 5 years in Central Water and Power Commission, Government of India, and on irrigation projects. Dr. Engineer G.V. Subbarao retired from Government of India Border Roads Organization of Ministry of Defense. He is a fellow of the Institution of Engineers India. The endowment lectures are being delivered by the people of high eminence with considerable professional experience to throw light on important emerging topics of today's relevance. Today, Telangana State Center arranged Engineer G.V. Subbarao 9th Endowment Lecture on challenges in delivering infrastructure projects in border areas by Engineer P. Surya Prakash Garu, FIE, Council Member and Managing Director of Satyavani Projects and Consultants Private Limited, Hyderabad. Since I know you are all anxiously awaiting to hear from the mouth of our eminent speaker, I am limiting myself and hope that you will really enjoy his experience talk and also expertise is going to enlighten us. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty welcome to the respected keynote speaker, Engineer P. Surya Prakash, FIE, and all of you to this important event. And especially, I also once again give warm welcome to his family members and his daughter, Miss Bhavanaji. Thanks, one and all. And over to uh, Aruna Madam. Please, please introduce the today's
No,
keynote.
Chairman sir. Chairman garlanding. Just wait. We are in Institute of Engineers garlanding. Kindly allowed to garland. Chairman and Honor Secretary.
Okay,
We are in
we are
garlanding.
doing it.
Kindly
We
follow.
are doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We,
sir.
okay, please go on. Please go on.
Bhaiya.
మళ్ళా క్యాండిల్ ఎందుకమ్మా డైరెక్ట్ ముట్టి క్యాండిల్ ముట్టి క్యాండిల్ ప్రజ్వలన అయిపోతుంది అది దీప ప్రజ్వలన కాదు అప్పుడు రత్నం అగ్గిపెట్టిదే నువ్వు క్యాండిల్ ముట్టిస్తున్నావా దీపాన్ని ముట్టిస్తున్నావా
Only actually, I am told only 12 minutes before the starting of the program that I am going to chair. Otherwise, I have to come to center and see that his light is being done, lighting the lamp and all that due formalities which we are supposed to do. I hope you have done it.
దీప ప్రజ్వలన అయిపోయింది ముట్టించినావు కదా క్యాండిల్ ప్రజ్వలన లాస్ట్ టైం లేదు రీల్ పోతుంది
Sir. Okay, sir. Anna. Zoom. Okay, system ఉందా? Honor Secretary garu, shall I read biota?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please introduce the.
Thank you, Chairman sir.
Today's.
Thank you, Chairman sir.
సౌండ్ బంద్ చేయండి సౌండ్ బంద్ చేయండి
Thank you, Chairman sir. It's a great opportunity for me to read our council member resume. Engineer P. Surya Prakash garu is an eminent engineer, consultant, and mentor, and made significant contribution to civil engineering. He obtained BTech. He obtained BTech Civil Engineering from JNTU Kakinada in 1986. Obtained MS degree in Structural Engineering 1990 in IIT Madras. Worked for 6 years as a design engineering, established Satyavani Projects and Consultants in 1994. He is also founder and Smart Infrastructure EST and Truth dedicated to civil engineering to enhance the employability and employment. He was the president of ACCI in 2013-15 and is founding president of PSI since 13 Engineering SP's professionals membership as FIE, FACCI, MICI, and MIRI, MIVC, and Mindax, MIBC, etc. He elected the council member in the Institute of Engineers in 21-25. He authored books on the design and implementation of the communication towers published by ACCI Hyderabad. He also authored of handbook of SOP for building construction published by CREDAI Telangana. Engineering SPC is a guest training faculty in CIRE and ISKI Hyderabad on a CAD of transmission light towers. He is also chief resource person for a LEAP structures in a 56 topics in a smart infrastructure ESG. The cabinet and software developed by him won the ACI and CDC Best Software Award in 2007. He also received Eminent Engineering Award and President Medal of ACCI, IBC and iFocus, ESC and Vishwakarma, etc. He organized many workshops and conferences wise 2004. Yeah. Professor A3C10 and Macon 2007 EIA IS 456 new Vista seismic design of building IS 1956 and IS 1999. He was a member of expert committee and categorization of seismic damage structure. He was the expert committee member for AP government to review projects in irrigation, affordable housing and capital Amaravati was totally costing about 1 lakh crores. Engineering SP participated interest. Sir, biota chala padugu sir and shortcut istuna. And he's also guided projects for MTech and BTech students in IITM and JNTU and NIT. He trained about 10,000 engineering online and during pandemic. Engineering SP handled several prestigious projects during the past 3.5 decades. Some of the projects undertook, including affordable housing, residential, commercial office, IT, industrial, hospitals, hotel buildings, infrastructure projects in roads and bridges and metro rails and runways, hangars, logistic parks, and results of team of parks, stadiums and transportation lines, towers, FM, TV, and microwaves, and cellular towers, providing architecture, engineering, and PM services. The prestigious clients, including Ministry of Defense and Government of Telangana, AP, and IL and FS, Tech Mahindra, GVK and GMR, BSNL, Idea, and Airtel, Tata Saket, Manjira, and Janpriya, Ashoka Hotel, etc. Thank you, sir. I think long time. Thank you for your Surya Prakash, congratulations. Chairman Sahab.
I request you to kindly initiate your talk, sir.
Yeah, good evening, all the delegates, respected chairman and honorary secretary, and my respects to Engineer G.V. Subba Garu. In fact, when I was asked to deliver a lecture on his, for his endowment cause, I just checked the background of Engineer G.V. Subba Garu. When I came to know that he worked for Border Roads Organization, I thought it's apt to share my experience on projects I handled in borders, actually. So that's why I chose this topic today, challenges in delivering infrastructure projects in border areas. So today I'll be talking about this topic. And the overview of my talk today is introduction to the topic, basically, and then I'll just talk about border road projects, what kind of border road projects we'll be dealing with, and what infrastructure we need in the borders. Because I traveled to the close to the borders, actually, mainly Chinese side and Myanmar side. And what challenges I have faced, I'll be sharing my experience, and general challenges also I'll be explaining. And delivering these projects in time, that is the biggest challenge. Today, this is my overview of my topic. And after the lecture, there can, if there's time permits, then we can take some questions from the participants. And my respects to my guru, Krishnamurti Garu, who joined this talk. In fact, it's my privilege to talk before him. He has been my guru for last 35, almost 39 years. He guided me throughout my career. So he's 90 years old now, but still he's young to learn things from others. And he keeps sharing his knowledge to everyone. So, Namaskaram, sir. Thank you for joining, sir. I'm elated to talk before you, sir. So Indian borders, if we say probably India, though by area it is only fifth largest in the area and second largest in population or number one in population. India borders are long, very long, and particularly we have ocean borders much larger actually. And because of the crookedness in the shape of the borders, we have very long borders even on land. So we need to have protection for these borders. We need to have the infrastructure in the borders. Basically, any country to establish its uh, legitimacy of the land within the borders, it has to have the basic infrastructure in the borders. That's how our Indian government keeps trying to develop the infrastructure in border areas. And main challenge in doing these projects in border areas is the access actually. So we need to create the access, and we need to have power, we need to have communication in these border areas. So when I traveled, actually, I found all these as challenging actually. So that's what I'll be sharing in my challenges today. So in mainly the border projects will be implemented by a major organization, Border Roads Organization. So the roads that are required in the borders will be implemented by the Border Roads Organization. And I had the opportunity to work with this department also, Border Roads Organization. And there are certain classified projects to be implemented by the defense in the border areas. So there will be the border projects actually. There are technical basis actually. Technical basis we have to develop that. And then on the ocean side, we have naval projects, DGNP, Director General Naval Projects. And we have another department called ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Protection Force. And more of the borders we Sorry, I was muted, so I unmuted myself. I hope I'm audible now, sir.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So ITBP is another thing, and Indian Air Force. So I had the opportunity to work with the Indian Air Force, DGNP, ITBP, BRO, and classified. All these departments I had the opportunity to work with as a consultant, directly or indirectly. Next, the biggest theme of today's topic is challenges. What are all the challenges that we face when we implement the projects of infrastructure in borders? The biggest challenge is climate, actually. India probably is the only country where we have a wind speeds ranging from 33 meters per second to 55 meters per second. We have rainfall ranging from 200 mm to 2000 mm. We have minimum temperature ranging from minus 30 degrees to 20 degrees minimum temperature. And of course, highest temperature ranging from 20 degrees to 55 degrees. And earthquake, we have seen, we have 5 zones of earthquake in our country. And we have the borders, mostly land borders, with all these highest things, highest wind, highest earthquake, and highest snowfall, and rainfall also. We have a highest rainfall. And added to all this, all our Himalayan region is with landslides. We know how we have been affected in Himachal Pradesh, in Arunachal Pradesh, and northern states also. So this is the first biggest natural challenge we have. We have to consider all this while we plan our projects in the border areas. Next is the access to the border areas is another challenge, because we are still building the infrastructure in our borders, particularly on eastern side. Western side, we have developed good border roads and all. But eastern side, whether we go to the Ladakh area or Arunachal Pradesh, or even northern side, most of the places we have to still develop the access. Border Roads Organization is working relentlessly. Next is the security. Challenge is security in traveling these border areas. Most of these border states are inflicted by terrorism. We all know extremism, terrorism. These are all the things which are affecting implementation of these projects. In fact, when I had to accept a project in defense, the first challenge I had to think of and convince my family was handling this extremism, how we can escape from this extremism and all. And next is basic infrastructure availability. The basic infrastructure like power, water, communication, we still don't have the complete communication availability. Those days, about 10 years back, only BSNL used to be available network, but that also in limited areas. Next, material availability. For us to implement these infrastructure projects, basically state like Arunachal Pradesh, the aggregates don't belong to the government actually, they belong to the tribals. So, and we know any construction project to implement, we first thing we need is the aggregates. And we can't transport aggregates 200 kilometers or 300 kilometers lead. So that's the biggest challenge. And workers availability. We don't have any workers available in these border areas. So we have to have labor camps and mobilize the labor from outside, which itself is a challenge actually, because for the working labor to be able to work with locals' acceptance is a big challenge. And next is the nearest railhead. Whenever we plan any project, we need to check the nearest railhead. And in some of these projects, our nearest railhead is about 300 kilometers. That means for you to take steel, reinforcement bars or structural steel, anything, we have to add the lead cost for this. Next is the availability of fuel. In most of these border areas, we don't get diesel or petrol or kerosene even. So we need to transport the diesel for the project. So it used to cost us double the cost. Like if the diesel costs 90 rupees in Guwahati, in the border area, the project where we did, it costs about 180 rupees. So we have to consider all these factors when we do the project costing, project viability, and all that. Next is the hostile locals and local conditions, hostile conditions locally. So these are all the things, and vendor acceptance. This is the final challenge for any engineer to implement the project. You need to have the contractors who will be able to implement these projects. Either you have to get big companies for whom there is a minimum size of project required, or you need to get the smaller companies who will be accepting to do this project. So there's so many challenges we have come across and we had to handle. What type of infrastructure projects we have in border areas is roads, communication, power, advanced landing grounds. This is the major thing we have learned in Operation Sindoor, what kind of challenges our defense would have faced on the west. And so the advanced landing grounds will be the border landing grounds actually for supplies and transportation of materials and shifting of the people, airlifting of the people. You need these advanced landing grounds in the border areas, which we have specialized actually. And accommodation. This is another biggest challenge actually, providing accommodation for the defense personnel. We have seen Galwan Valley conflict actually. After the Galwan Valley, within 1 year, the Ministry of Defense has established a military camp very close to the Galwan Valley. Otherwise, it was very troublesome reaching to the Galwan Valley. In fact, 160 kilometers travel at a 13,000 feet elevation is the biggest thing. And next is the storage, availability of storage. We have to create the storage for the ammunition. We have to create the storage for the materials, basic requirements in the border areas during the war times particularly. Next is the ports. On the seaside, if we come, we need the ports and associated facilities in the ports, whether it is for submarines or warships and all. So these are all the infrastructure projects we have come across for in the border areas.
Sir, can you please do full screen, sir? It is only
Oh,
coming.
sorry, sir. I'll make it full screen, sir. Yeah. Now, sir.
No, not yet. Yeah, now it is okay. So,
Yeah. Yes, sir. So now delivery. When we talk about the delivery of the project, any project that we conceive in these border areas, the time, cost, and quality are the paramount things. We all know in any project management, these are the important aspects. So we cannot compromise on any of these things. We have to deliver in time, given time, and we should not have any escalations. But we know time and cost are interrelated. If the project is delayed, cost will escalate. And quality, of course, is a constant thing which is non-negotiable anytime. Next is the procurement strategy. For the projects to be implemented, we need to have the right procurement strategy, which we implemented in these challenging projects. Actually, pre-qualification of the vendors or contractors is the major thing which we worked on. We developed the pre-Q norms for successful implementation of these challenges. Next is the technology, adaptation of technology in these border areas for a successful implementation of the project. Mechanization, machinery, mobilization of machines for these border areas is another thing we implemented actually to tackle these challenges. And another most important is nowadays we are seeing particularly NHAI and the Minister of Highways talking about DPRs being not non-practical or DPRs leading to a lot of variation. This is because of the lack of proper investigation and also lack of accountability on the part of consultants or engineers, whatever you say. So why that's what we say that design engineering project management consultancy should be adopted, which will be the accountable and accountable from DPR to defect liability. This is what I always advocate, saying that detailed project report, whoever prepares has to be there till the project is implemented and defect liability is over. And any variations, there should be accountability and penalty to the consultant, whoever is doing the DPMC. So investigation is very paramount for this success in implementation of this project, and availability of or use of local materials. That is another thing that can contain the cost. And satellite communication. This is what we adopted in most of these border projects, where we don't have this regular cell phone connectivity or landline connectivity or normal internet. So we used satellite communication, and we should make it part of the contract to use the satellite communication for internet or communication actually. So this is the map of our Indian subcontinent, the seismic zones. If you see, particularly the northeast, entire northeast, we have in zone 5, and part of the northern regions is zone 5, and also majority of the northern region is zone 4. So this is seismic zones that we have to consider in designing any of these border area projects. Next is the wind zones. Here we can see the wind. Also, we have a highest wind zone in the northeastern region and the northeastern region in the Jammu and Kashmir also. Zone 5, and most of these coastal regions we have zone 4 and the northeastern region. So we had to design for highest wind speeds, highest earthquake, and highest rainfall also in the northeastern region. And added to this, we have lowest temperatures also in this northeastern region. We have locations where I'll share. There is a minus 30 degrees temperature also, where we had to design for heating. And this is the project I'm talking about today, which we handled in Arunachal Pradesh. Tawang is one location. Mechuka, Chuting, all have Tibet and China borders, and Vijayanagar with the Myanmar border, and Chinese border Walang we have done, and Pasighat, Alang we have done, Chuting, Mechuka. So these are all the locations where we did the advanced landing grounds in Arunachal Pradesh. As a single project consultancy, we did and deliver. So all these locations, we completed the project in 30 months without any cost escalation. So these are all the advanced landing grounds. I'll share the details as we move forward. This is the location Tawang. This is a Google map. You can see this is the runway we have done for a helicopter landing, and the elevation of this site location itself is 12,000 feet above mean sea level. And the lowest temperature here is minus 30 degrees, and highest temperature is 20 degrees, 25 degrees. And within the site, we had a level variation of 150 meters. And to reach this site itself is a challenge, actually. So we have to go through the snowy areas, ice-laden roads and all that. So this is the closer view of that, all the infrastructure that we developed in this site, including the roads and all. So this is a Tawang hill station. Normally, if you check in the internet, this is the kind of hill station. It is the most popular tourist place also. And we had to do the project in this kind of access road conditions. You can see we can travel only during the day. And if you start early morning, you will reach by evening to the next location. 10 hours drive for traveling 100 kilometers is the challenge of access that we have. And most of the roads are not properly developed, and still we have to use these roads. So this is the Tawang city. And the altitude is 11,500 feet, and location northwest corner of Arunachal Pradesh, mostly cold, sub-zero during January, February. And sorry, this is the Sela Pass. We must have heard about it during the conflict. It gained a lot of Bomidila, and these are all the places we passed through. And finally, we reached the Tawang. And so this is the route to Tawang, which takes about 10 hours of journey. So this is in the map, Tawang.
It's not visible, sir.
Oh,
I think it's visible, sir.
now it is visible?
No, sir. No, nothing is visible. Just only audio. This thing.
Very much visible, sir.
No map is visible.
But we are seeing very much visible.
We are able to see that.
Okay, okay. Then fine. It is fine. If I am
Maybe
the
your
only one,
internet may be slow or something like that.
no. It's
Yeah,
fine, sir.
maybe.
Please continue, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So this is the location of Tawang, which I have explained. And this is the project, the contours for the proposed site. If you see, that's what I was explaining. This is the survey map of the entire project that we have done in Tawang alone, which is about 150 meters level difference. In this location, we had to do all the infrastructure required, including the crash bay and hangar, runway, accommodation, and storage of ammunition. All these facilities we had to design. And we have delivered this project again without cost escalation and within the time given for the project. So this is the design basis report, design brief, which we have prepared for the client. So we can see air maintenance and casualty evacuation mission for the state government of the Arunachal Pradesh. And it's an Air Force base, and department implementing this project was CCNEP, Chief Engineer, Northeastern Projects, actually. Construction Chief Engineer, Northeastern Project. Or Chief Construction Engineer, yes. Chief Construction Engineer, Northeastern Project. and we were the design, engineering, and project management consultant to implement these ALGs in Zero, Pasighat, along Mechuka, Tuting, Walang, Tawang, and Vijayanagar. And we have prepared the DPR within the time given for all the facilities that are required. We have designed the rigid pavement, flexible pavement, and dispersals for these aircrafts, AN-32 aircraft, which is for the defense purposes, and Mi-30 helicopters. So we have done the internal roads, perimeter lighting, internal external water supply, internal and external electric supply, sewage disposal system, fire protection system, and air conditioning and heating and ventilation air conditioning system. So this is the weather conditions which we have reported for all the sites here. So variation of the temperature you can see, and variation of the levels above mean sea level. And huge tracts of land we worked on, each project having 260,000 square meters and all that. And so rainfall variation also. Actually, the biggest challenge we faced in this project was 6 months of hindrance due to rainfall or snowfall. So we considered that and we scheduled the project out of 30. We have seen to such that the project commences in October. So we have 6 months window, October to March window available for construction. And again, April to September will be the hindrance period. So we scheduled the project exactly to start in October. It started and we completed in 30 months with the 2 breaks of 6 months actually. So effective 18 months we had for the work. So this is the weather conditions, 40 degrees maximum and 6 degrees minimum. And we had sub-zero temperatures also. And 3,600 feet above mean sea level. This is one side. And the highest level I told is about 12,000 feet above mean sea level. And these are all the drawings that we have done. And so this is the design brief for all these 6 projects. We have prepared the schedule of finishes considering that thing. So this is about...
Can I ask something, sir?
Yeah.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, please.
Mr. Surya Prakash?
Yeah.
See, in these areas when you are working, this is a very harsh and non-regular weathers.
Yes.
How you could get the machinery mobilization to the site and labor, especially skilled labor and technicians? How you are able to mobilize? That is a big challenge.
We have taken deviation from regular MES norms and took the approval during the DPR stage itself to say that the advance to be paid to the contractor will be paid only upon mobilization of labor and equipment. 50% of the advance. That means normally if we pay 10% advance, 5% will be paid on mobilization of machinery and labor. So labor camp also has to be developed before mobilizing the labor. So we had experience in defense before where the advance was paid, but mobilization was not done. And the contractor was paying the interest on advance, which is just 8%, which is not available in the market at that level. So that's why we have decided not to pay mobilization advance until the work, entire mobilization is done. And the second part of mobilization, that is another 5% mobilization, was paid on commissioning of all the equipment. We have estimated, because these are all remote locations, we have estimated the machinery required, including the tippers required, batching plant required, hot mix plant required, and pavers required. All that we estimated, and we have provided in the tender document itself all the required equipment. And upon mobilization of all that equipment only, the advance was paid. So, and also in the pre-qualification of the contractors, we have listed this equipment for, suppose we have 7 locations in this contract. For all the 7 locations, they have to independently mobilize. They cannot say, I'll move this equipment from this site to the other site. So we have listed the equipment required for each site. And we insisted on mobilizing all that equipment, and that happened. So because of that, we only allowed fabrication of steel structures at one location. That also we have specified what is the fabrication equipment required for structural steel particularly. So because we cannot insist on 7 locations fabrication yard, so we allowed fabrication yard in one accessible location, and from there they have taken the structural steel. And really, you raised the very important point. In fact, we had the challenge of mobilizing the equipment also. So we have seen that the culverts that are there in the approach roads, access roads, were only capable of supporting 5 tons load maximum truck. So what we did is we specified completely knockdown condition batching plant, CKD hot mix plant, all that we specified in the tender itself. In spite of that, in out of 7 locations, 1 location we had an accident. 800-meter gorge was there, where there was a flexible bridge, in which there was an accident. 8 people died and equipment lost. For all that was absorbed by the contractor. And in one of the labor camps, local people, there was a stabbing incident overnight. And next day morning, all 200 people in the labor camp have evacuated the labor camp. So these are all the challenges which we faced. We handled. In spite of that, we made the catch-up schedules, and we could complete the project in time. It's a really good question you raised. In fact, that was there in my mind. I would have missed to explain this if you have not asked me this question. So next, I'll go to the topic of coastal districts. That is the borders in sea areas. Whatever projects we did, whatever specifications we have to. Here, the biggest challenge in handling the projects on seaside is the corrosion. Corrosion and seawater. Handling the seawater and the minimum grade of concrete, grade of steel, and protection of steel against corrosion. All these are the challenges that we have faced, and we designed some of the projects in these coastal regions. So planning the projects, we have to take care of these model provisions for coastal area projects. And another biggest thing now is CRZ, actually, coastal region zones. So we have to consider all these things while planning. And construction engineering, project procurement, and construction quality are the things that we consider in designing this project. And built environments, professionals we need, and engineering, planning, design, and construction. We are still handling some of the defense projects in these coastal regions for departments like DGNP, etc. And so these are all the views, location, size, feasibility, and investigation for geotechnical, topographic, water. Water is also a challenge in coastal regions because we don't get the potable water in every region. We have to test the quality of the water, and power is not a big issue in these coastal regions because they are already developed areas, unlike other borders we have handled. Waste disposal is a challenge, and stormwater disposal. Land use, statutory bylaws, road widths, airport authorities, pollution control board, traffic, fire, RERA. These are all the things we have to consider in private projects also. And the construction planning, time, cost, and quality, risk. Exposure condition. This is what I was telling in coastal regions, particularly the exposure condition, that is severe exposure conditions and extreme weather conditions, and marine clays. This is the another big challenge in coastal region. We have handled projects where if we have to fill 2 meters earth filling to raise the ground level, we need to have the ground improvement compulsorily even for filling. And we have done the foundations on a soil where the ground level is minus 0.5 meter below MSL. That means a half meter below MSL, we have to do the project where it is always water table is above ground level. So we have done the foundations in such areas and the salinity condition and the groundwater table and the flooding of the sites. So these are all the things we handled in this. Tsunami, factors of tsunami, cyclone, and cyclone conditions. Storm surge is another thing. And the ground improvement, as I explained, we need to have PVDs for ground improvement compulsorily for these marine clays and dewatering systems in coastal regions. When we did the projects where the perennial water is there in the water table, so during 365 days, you will find the water table at the ground level. How do we execute the project in such condition? So we developed the dewatering system for continuous 2 months. We could maintain dry condition in the soil up to 2 meters depth by using this dewatering system. And the piling. Now, thanks to some of the companies, of course, I developed the vendor for precast piles. So if you, in such soils, if you have to do piling also, it is very tough, challenging, because if you do the board cast in situ piles, when you do the augering, there will be a collapse, and even using bentonite, it is very tough, challenging. So we have used precast piles, driven piles, and spun concrete piles are available with M80 grade of concrete, very economical compared to board cast in situ piles. And so we have designed using those precast piles also. Sheet piles, jettying. Jettying is another for driving these precast piles into the ocean. We deploy the method of jettying and handle the corrosion with the corrosion protective paints and ring bunds for executing projects into the sea. And rain and narrow front wind is already in IS 875 2015. This is incorporated, but earlier we used to have a special condition of narrow front wind, and coastal wind is another for design of structures in coastal regions. So this is the importance factor for cyclonic region. K4 is introduced in IS 875. And the east coast in India is the most challenging coast, actually, with the highest wind speeds and wind speeds crossing the design wind speeds. We have seen Orissa cyclone where the wind speed has crossed 250 kilometers per hour. That means about 65 meters per second is the design wind speed, where we have incorporated designing for survival, not for serviceability, actually. So survival wind speeds were specified even 250 kilometers per hour, and we designed structures for a survival of 250 kilometers per hour. And on west coast, Gujarat is the most vulnerable thing. We both for earthquake and wind, actually, on the west coast. We have done the structures in west coast also for 180 kilometers per hour cyclonic wind speeds and a zone 5 earthquake. So this is the thing. And so investigation, we do the desk studies first for any project. As we all know, earlier we used to do the reconnaissance walkover surveys. Now we are doing the desktop Google Earth studies on the project, and we are understanding the conditions in and around the proposed project locations. And we are also conducting the surveys online for raw material sources, quarries, and leads. We are checking on Google Earth. And geological studies, of course, for very important projects, we have to do the geological studies and environmental investigation and windroses and climatic conditions. So these are the sample of windroses.
Sir, I have one point here.
Yeah.
You said the geological conditions.
Yeah.
Okay, you may be given a project to execute.
Yeah.
But before the geological survey of those conditions, you give or bid for that, or you first assess the geological condition of that area and then go for finalization.
There are certain important projects.
And how to execute, how you do it, because it is a problem in border areas also, very high altitude and very unstable ground condition. As you
Yeah.
said, in the coastal area also, that is one unstable ground conditions and a very tough thing. So geological conditions survey you do, on the basis of that you give the take
Yeah,
up the project,
exactly.
or
In fact, we have to definitely
how
check
you
the
do?
feasibility. Uh, we have to check the feasibility of the geology for very, I mean, large projects like dams and or caverns, caverns where this crude oil is stored. In all such and power plants, whatever we do in the border areas, like we have to go for the geological study as part of the investigation. We have to see the geological history of the site, and we have geological experts who give the report for the given location. Based on that, we have to go. We are aware, like Latur earthquake, why it happened. Koina Dam was done on a fault. So that should not happen. That's why the study of geology is very important for all the important projects we do. And it's part of the environment impact assessment studies, which will be taken up much before the project planning itself. And based on those reports, we do the planning. Like orientation, wind roses you are seeing, the orientation of the structure we decide based on the wind roses. We're all aware how Burj Khalifa was designed after studying the wind roses. Originally, the developer has given 500 meters tall building, and the structural engineer has designed the foundation. After starting the foundation, then they decided to increase. Our actual height was disclosed as 828 meters. So then structural engineer has used this wind roses, and he has reoriented the structure so that the foundation forces were adequately tackled for the given foundation already. Similarly, geological study, the best example is Saudi Arabia. We have seen Saudi Arabia wanted to build a 1 mile tall structure. And when they studied the geology of that location, they found that the maximum height they can go in that location was 1,000 meters, because geology is not supporting that tall building. So these are all the examples of geological studies. It's a very, very important thing, and we have to consider that, sir. And this is the RQD samples that one of the projects I thought, I mean, it's a very, very important thing ignored. I mean, in planning the project, the quality of the rock is a very important aspect. And in most of the projects, we are seeing a lot of differences in this RQD and perception of RQD and, without using a diamond double core barrel. They are recovering the rocks and giving the reports. So it's very important to understand. I have one RQD rock recovered 3 meters long with 4 inches dia. That is the quality of rock actually. And we have to appreciate the investigating agency who could recover that kind of sample actually. 100% RQD actually. So this is another example for studying the rock also. And in one project where we had a report, geotechnical investigation report, which has suggested 75 ton per square meter. After seeing the actual rock, we decided to go for again RQD. When we did the RQD, we got a report of 300 ton per square meter. So this is very important to study the quality of rock and rock designation in the project. So this is the structural design brief for one of the project in Agartala. This I am just sharing. So Tripura is another border state where we did the state government project. So I thought I'll share these challenges. I'll share this project delivery solution and investigation. So if you have any questions further, you can ask from this.
So this, I have point.
Any questions, please?
ask is mainly the challenges infrastructure projects in border areas. Can I ask question now? Hello, can I ask question now? My
Yes, sir.
internet is
Yeah,
not very
please.
good.
Yeah.
You see, in border area, what you have taken up the projects, it's the geological conditions of that area, especially the borelog data and other soil strength and other things. Did you use for that? Okay, one is that government itself will provide some data to you based
Yes.
on the past projects or something. They may be having some data.
Correct.
As you are a private executor, they will provide you all those data before start of the project.
Yeah.
But you also do an independent survey of that and take the data before, as you said, one place you have done 4 inches by 3 meter, and then another also 75 ton per square meter. And again, when you go for second sample, it has gone to very high. So there may
Yes.
be variations in the earth when you do, especially border high altitude area. It's very
Yes.
difficult how you assess and plan for the total technical job there. And so my second question, did you use any drones in that area for survey and all? Anything you used in the drones?
No, we have not used drones, sir. Actually, I tell you, the first survey when we did using DGNP.
Or you are not allowed to use it in border area?
No. Drones, yeah, anytime actually, not only in border areas, anywhere. If we want to use drone, we need the approval from collector, district collector, and SP, police department. Many people are doing without that. In fact, when we tried doing in one project in Vijayawada itself, we didn't get the permission to use the drone. It has to be by the government itself. They have to give in clearance first and then ask. But actually, for survey of all these projects, we could do with the total station itself. There was no issue. But actual marking when we did, we did using tachymetry only. Manual marking, because we want to be sure in such a challenging location, we cannot depend totally on the digital data that is available. So we finally did, before handing over the sites to the contractors, we ensured that the dimensional accuracy is there in the survey and the block marking is done using triangulation. And regarding soil investigation, yes, in these Arunachal Pradesh and all, we didn't encounter any rock actually. The rock samples that I have given are different location. Just to give an example of, because that's an important challenge, particularly when we have the rock. But these soils, we had the maximum 20 ton per square meter kind of thing. And yeah, we had a CBR challenge actually for runways. When we implemented these advanced landing grounds, the CBRs were low, like 5 and 6 also, where we did the ground improvement. The ground improvement we did was using soil stabilization, using cement and lime. And also for this, what you call seismic activity, we had some of the soils which are silty clays actually. There we have done the ground improvement by using geotextiles. That was an essential thing to tackle the seismic problems in runways actually. So that also we implemented.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. Suryaprakash, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
most of them are terrorist zones also, these border areas, as you rightly
Yeah.
said. And I have only one question. About the safety and security measures taken for the construction personnel, because which is essential, no? What are the taken and what is the mode?
No,
Safety
we
and
have,
security also.
yeah, normally, in fact, I must tell you, we have given a provision of 22% in our estimate for the security actually aspect. We, after verifying in the local areas and all. But the government did not accept that provision. They said, let us leave it to the bidders. And if it comes to that, we will give financial concurrence. That's what was agreed. And we got really the bidding has gone above the estimate, and the government has given the financial confidence. They didn't approve in the DPR stage to increase the cost. So
The
we have
pro,
taken
yes.
in the cost itself, in the security, for providing security to the labor. And labor camp itself had the barbed wire fencing and all those things. And the contractor had to connect with the local police. And
Yeah, that's
and
what it is.
being a defense project, defense also have given enough security. These are all the lands protected by the defense. But still, there are some encroachments in the defense land. We had to leave those encroachments and design.
Fine, sir, fine.
If no more questions, then I will proceed further.
Yes, sir.
Anybody, please? Thank you, sir. Thank you for the excellent. Anybody else?
How you take care of as no, I have one point. I have one point. Yes, I have one point. This how you, because you said 6 months there'll be bad weather during that border areas, and how you take care of health of
This
those
medical support.
people working at that border area site, medical support and providing if there's somebody there.
No, it
How
is
you
very
provide them? That is itself is a government will give any incentive or any facility to you for your
no,
workers and engineers working there.
no, there is that is part of the cost only, and we have provided primary health centers in every location, sir. And for our engineers, in fact, we had to deploy 45 engineers for 3 years in all these sites in difficult locations. So we could retain them by providing proper accommodation, food, and all the, like even warm clothes we have provided to our engineers. And we have given them once in 6 months paid holiday leave to go to their place with the travel reimbursed and all that. So that's how we could, I mean, by providing protected water and food, protected food, we could take care of their health actually. And also the temperature conditions we have handled by providing warm clothes, everything, and proper accommodation. And workers, labor camps also. I think I must tell you at this point, we have estimated the cost of a labor camp, which most of the contractors don't consider actually. In Hyderabad, for example, if one has to provide labor camp, cost of labor camp per head per day is 150 rupees, sir. So contractors try to save on that and save on this labor safety and labor health. And because of that, they land in problem. There are many labor leaving the camps because of the improper conditions, unhealthy conditions. So if one knows about it, even the project planner, implementer, if they provide this correct budget and insist on doing the labor camp properly with proper accommodation, proper food and all, definitely projects will not suffer that kind of losses, delays in projects and escalation in the costs and all.
So there is one question is they have put on the chart.
Yes,
Why
sir.
structural engineering is necessary in modern projects, and if fault occurred in first attempt and project is completed, it can be corrected afterwards. Mr. Subodh Kumar Tanti.
Yeah, structurally, actually, this is a very important point raised, sir. The accountability of engineers is not fixed in our country still, because there is no Engineers Act. Engineer is not recognized by our constitution so far, except for AICTE and National Building Code, where engineer is defined. Constitution of India has not recognized engineer as a professional. So whatever we are seeing, most of the accidents happening, knee-jerk reaction will be to arrest the engineers. In Gujarat post-earthquake also engineers were arrested, but they could not be prosecuted because no engineer will do any project to kill people. People die because of the professional ignorance or error. So that is not in the act actually. That's why we are all working. In fact, I have been working for last 30 years to realize that fact that engineer is a professional in our constitution. Now we are probably close to that. If it happens, then projects will benefit from professional indemnity insurance, and also engineers will benefit by being recognized, and they cannot be arrested as a knee-jerk reaction. Like in Hyderabad, we had an accident of flyover construction, and immediately 30 engineers were arrested. It's very unfortunate. The reason is totally different. Whereas all the engineers connected were arrested without proper investigation. Of course, later they were released on bail, but that's an engineer working on the site being arrested without his knowledge is very bad.
So, sir, what I feel today, it is the right topic in right time by the right speaker. Why? Because the whole world is moving towards the wars. Generally, in what the people they feel, civil engineering means it's only construction of buildings, at the most high-rise buildings or any bridges, roads construction, something like that. But today, we have got a lot of awareness by today's topic, the challenges in building infrastructure projects in border areas. And step by step, very easily in the simple language, what you told it, sir, it's very fine. And it is very interesting. And this type of speeches should be arranged in all engineering colleges. It will be inspiring to the coming youth engineering, budding engineers. So it should be conducted, sir. Particularly this time, where we are inviting the wars now, worldwide. So this time it is essential, sir. That's my view. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We are innovating wars, sir. Ramesh Garu, I'm sorry.
Yes. We have to.
You told
That is
right speaker, right chance, and right question also. We are not innovating wars. We
What-
are
what
Shanti
is
Kamakulu,
innovating?
Alin Deshamo, Pandit Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi.
World is inviting. We in the sense,
Yeah.
world is inviting the
Manu
wars.
Shanti Kamakulu.
No, Iran needs a lot of civil engineers now
Yeah.
So today it is quite interesting, sir.
for overnight repair of
Even Gaza, requires a lot of engineers, sir.
Sir, I was also got border engineering recruitment, but I didn't join, sir. As you said, Tripura having some praises with meeting and chala baga chepparu. Congrats, sir. Thank you. Good night.
So
Sir,
another,
there
another question by
Yeah.
I
Big
have
Buddha
one question.
on what is
Sir,
the future
Sir
of
Prakash, sir,
Yes, sir.
session is very interesting and a very really good topic you have selected, sir. Thank you very much. We are really I enjoy your topic, sir, today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have one question, Mr. Surya Prakash.
Yes, sir.
See, you are a EPC company which executed these projects.
We are not EPC, sir. We are consultants.
Consultants. Okay.
EPMC. We
okay.
did.
Only engineering you do it, and then
Yeah.
project management consultancy you provide.
Correct, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
Not EPC.
Whether you are a consultant for engineering and for
Project management.
execution also.
Yeah.
But how these project execution companies and all, especially China side and Myanmar side borders, because you have to execute in the contract itself that liability, quality liability, and stability of the facility what you have provided for maybe 2 years or 3 years and all. Whether you face this type of problems in border areas which executed, completed, but it did not perform well because of quality or weather or whatever it may be. Anything you have experience in this? They failed prematurely like that.
No, in my projects, actually, we designed for AN32, as I said, but on the inauguration day, they have landed Sukhoi 30, sir. So that means beyond the design parameters, actually. And it performed. And later, they converted into a commercial airport now, this defense thing. So our design parameters are we delivered as planned the performance parameters, all the performance parameters. And there was one issue in one location actually, which was rectified by the contractor. There was a problem in actually a security wall. It collapsed actually. Security wall collapsed. Not only due to the contractor, but after investigation, we found that there was a contractor issue also, which contractor accepted and rectified. Otherwise, other than that, we didn't have any issues in defect liability period also. And one runway, we had a design issue, like there was a water table above the runway level, and we had some dampness in the runway. And post completion, we incorporated a cutoff wall to increase the phreatic line, to reduce the dampness in the runway. So these are the two issues, to my knowledge, that we had to rectify during defect liability. Otherwise, we delivered accurately as per the plan.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
there is another question from Mr. John. What
Yes.
is the future of civil engineering in our country?
In fact, I keep advising people about civil engineering, sir. Recently, I checked with one of the private engineering college, which is number 3 in the rank in Hyderabad. The entry level rank in civil engineering is 25,000. That is very disheartening to note, actually. But I tell people that future of civil engineering is best in India, actually, because India is a country which is implementing a lot of infrastructure projects, and we need good civil engineers. And the advantage of civil engineering is you don't have to be the best among the lot. You have to like civil engineering, and you should be willing to learn civil engineering. Then you have a great future. I always treat myself as an average person, but because I chose civil engineering and I have interest in civil engineering, for myself, I am a successful person in my career. So every engineer who wants to get into engineering, now we are seeing core engineering subjects is a very important thing. Recently, somebody asked me for advice who got admission in, who will get admission in IIT in computer science. I advised against joining computer science. I advised to join in core engineering only, because you can get into computer science from any engineering branch, but not vice versa. So out of the core branches, civil engineering is central to all engineering branches, actually, because there is no domain where civil engineer cannot perform. You call it defense, you call it electronics, you call it communication, you call it power, electricity. We do projects in all these domains, actually. So civil engineer is the only branch of engineering who can perform in all the domains. So you can decide your future by choosing and by liking and by becoming the best civil engineer.
Any more questions, please?
It's very unfortunate. Many of the young engineering aspirants, they are not choosing core
Exactly.
subjects. That is a very unfortunate thing what we are observing,
Yes, sir.
because everybody wants to go for 5 days working at software industry and big packages and all.
Sir, the day will come. All .com dreams going to dead. This
That
dialogue
day
was
shall
told by
come
former
as
member of
quick
Parliament
as.
Jayapal Reddy Garu. As you said, conventional courses should be. Sir. Today, eminent engineers like Raj Reddy Garu, so many eminent engineers, sir, all they came from our civil engineering only.
Yes.
So we should not depend on .com dreams, sir. Even though I'm a doctorate in computer science.
Good
This is
evening,
happening.
sir. Can I add something to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Aruna, a Joint Honor Secretary of IEITSC. Actually, I'm a professor at Engineering College. Now we are revising the syllabus so that all the core syllabus, core subjects like civil, mechanical, they have added knowledge of AI and ML. So all the core subjects are coming up, sir. Now all the students are coming forward to take mechanical, civil. The syllabus has been revised with the CSC content.
Okay.
So this is the future of all the core fields.
Sir, can I
As
come
a
in?
CSC. Yes, sir, yes, sir.
I am Srikanth here from Bangalore.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. See, hope you are adding that core subject. Earlier we had around 62 core subjects, and now it is coming around 22 to 25 subjects now presently. That is what I observe in our engineering colleges, specifically in our VTU, that Visvesvaraya Technological University, what we have observed, and maybe the same thing in other colleges also, I believe. But the problem is not only mechanical and electrical and the things for the AI you are introducing, but the problem is with the other core subject which we have missed the bus. I think Surya Prakash sir is almost aware of all the things what I am speaking about. See, building related subjects we have totally eliminated. And if you ask what is the wall thickness, the student is unable to answer what is the wall thickness. And what is the floor height, he don't know. And why the sunken slab is required, he don't know. So all these things have led to, incapabilities to work under the buildings and other things. I don't want to take more time, but those subjects also to be considered, to be added in the syllabus. And in fact, at Bangalore, we are having one core committee to look into the syllabus and all that. And very soon, I am going to call for a online meeting to all the associations and other people. They can also contribute for this thing, and later on it can be taken up with the respective authorities so that the things can be adopted there. I think Surya Prakash ji can add more on this. Thank you.
Yeah, Srikanth, you raised the right question actually, which we have been brainstorming. And the Institution of Engineers is a good platform for us to spread this awareness to all the institutions. Institution of Engineers has got the maximum number of student chapters and connect with the institutions actually. So Institution of Engineers can spread the awareness about importance of increasing the core subjects in the curriculum actually.
Sir, JNT is conducting on 21st, sir. 21st day after.
Okay.
Very sad thing, our chairman and
we
secretary
can
both are
participate
absent.
in that.
We have to come forward and take active steps.
Sir, Surya Prakash garu, there are another two questions, and one question from
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
M. Ponnada. How does AI benefit
Yeah.
reduce challenges in these tougher terrains? Since we are talking about youngsters moving towards technology areas.
Yeah, it's a good question. AI is getting into all the domains actually. AI is important for future, definitely future generations particularly. For example, our generations could have access to experts and learn from experts. But future generations, it will be less probable actually interaction. So AI in that area will help. But we should all know AI only provides the technology to utilize the expertise that is stored in the data. So 80% in our Institution of Engineers, when we conducted a civil tech seminar where we had a talk on AI in civil engineering, and the person who worked on real AI, implementation of AI on pavement maintenance, also has given very good important information that 80% of AI will work on expertise only. So we all as engineers who have got the expertise should document the experience. In fact, now I have one intern with me from IIT Madras who is working on creating the database of the works that we have done, the parameters that are important for future decisions. Whatever projects we did, like, AI helps in predicting cube strength by knowing the aggregates source and cement brand and cement grade. With that, if you just give the composition of the materials, it will predict the strength without testing the cube with using the neural network. This was a project done in one of the colleges in Hyderabad. So like that, AI can help in right decision making with like Google Maps. When we use, unless somebody stores the data in Google Map, you cannot get by search whatever is the right location. Similarly, AI also works based on the data given. So we have to, all engineers have to see that the expertise is documented and database created on the decisions taken earlier, so that in future we need not reinvent the wheels. This is about AI, according to me, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Another question is like regarding robotic process automation. That is also one of the topics which is much talked about, being used in almost all the areas. Specifically when it comes to construction, since we are talking about the scarce availability of manpower in the tougher terrains.
Yeah.
So if we use robotic process automation and try to bring in some machinery in place of humans,
yeah,
we can even reduce certain hazardous situations, not to put some humans under tough conditions. And probably I think machines can replace humans to do some certain work. So even that also I think is one area probably will help in managing certain projects in tougher terrains.
Yeah, that's right. Already in our prefabricated and pre-engineered structures, we are using robotic welding and all that. And also 3D printing is fast growing in our country. L&T is implementing some of the project with the 3D printing, which will replace the total labor requirement. Already with the technology in using precast or using rigid monolithic construction, we have reduced the labor requirement from in fact, in one of the projects we implemented, we reduced the labor camp requirement for 4,000 people to 2,000 for the same project by implementing rigid monolithic construction and precast. Similarly, if we go for these pre-engineered, prefabricated structures as well as 3D printing, we can drastically reduce the labor requirement to 10%. Actually. So that is robotic technology and technologies in construction. We have rapid construction technologies available. With that, we can reduce.
Also, does prior experience in executing these kind of projects, does it help in reducing the cost if we undertake a similar kind of projects in future?
Definitely. That is the expertise actually. That's how we get the clients seeing our expertise in, like we did Arunachal Pradesh ALGs, and when the government needed to implement ALG in Leh Ladakh, they have approached us, and we could submit the DPR within 2 months because of our experience in already similar conditions in the border areas. So it will definitely help.
That type of knowledge will not be available in AI.
Exactly. Sir, if I document my project and make it available to AI, then AI can help in further doing it.
It's more data sensitive. So if you can store the data and try to utilize the data in predicting the future-based events, then probably I think it will help in doing repetitive kind of activities. Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. There is another one question, Mr. Subodh Kumar. How developed countries are able to develop high-value infrastructure projects? Ex-China trade route, Dubai, Saudi Arabia projects, etc.
Sir, yeah, I agree. China is ahead of our country, but recently, about 3 years back, I participated in an international conference where every country will present their construction status report. And I represented Institution of Engineers. This is in FIB Congress, where when 40 countries have presented the status of the construction industry in their respective countries. Of course, China was not there in that 40, but India stood number 1 in terms of volume as well as value of construction projects. And definitely, we are moving ahead. We will definitely one day surpass even China in terms of technology in construction, I would say. We are not very behind China in terms of technology. But yes, we have to still work. Maybe it takes another decade for us to surpass China, but we are moving in that direction, according to me. I have the report with me, which we documented 3 years back about India construction scenario. And maybe next year again, it will be submitted. Every 4 years it happens, and we'll be submitting. There are we have DFCC to boast of dedicated freight corridor, and we are seeing how we have upgraded our airports. We have seen how railway stations are being upgraded now. We have defense upgradation now. Right now, I'm working on 4 private defense manufacturing projects. Actually, you can see how it is multiplying. Defense also we are advancing, and bullet train also we are implementing. So definitely India, we have seen recently Chenab Bridge, the highest railway bridge. We are and we are working on tunneling, huge tunneling. We have worked on nuclear war safe facilities actually in defense. We have camps, army camps, which are nuclear safe actually in border areas. I didn't mention, but we are moving in that direction. Our country is also advancing in terms of technology.
Thank you. Thank you for by the number of questions asked. It is, I think I don't have to give an appreciation. The number
It's a
of
very,
questions
very
itself says how good is the
very,
talk.
very interesting topic, and we can go on
Yeah.
asking more
Also,
questions.
yeah, done. Anyway, but I give a chance to the family members of Engineer Subba Garu to say a few words because I think they're attending from even from United States.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
So, or anybody family member want to say a few words about the great engineer Subba Garu?
Is it audible
I
to
think,
them?
yeah, they were there,
Unmute.
one of them.
They have to unmute.
Yeah, anyway,
No, sir. I think it's not audible to them. That's what they're not responding. Please check it once.
Ratnam Garu, just check the Zoom.
Yeah, they're trying to say something.
Yeah.
The lip movement I'm observing, and please check it once.
There, Bharati madam, somebody is there.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think his daughter only.
Yes. Madam is saying something.
Madam, unmute
Madam, I think you have to unmute your Zoom, madam.
That is also, it is not audible to us, sir, what you are telling. Ratnam Garu, please check it.
సార్ అదే మేడం అక్కడ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవాలి సార్, చేస్తే వచ్చేసి
చెప్పండి, మీరు ఫోన్ చేసి చెప్పండి.
మనం కూడా అన్మ్యూట్ చేయొచ్చండి. ఏం పేరుతో ఉంది? నేను అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను.
భారతి మేడం చెప్తుంది కదా అప్పటి నుంచి.
యా ఓకే, ఐ హావ్ ఆస్క్డ్ టు అన్మ్యూట్. యా నౌ
can somebody hear me?
Yes, we can hear. Please go ahead.
Please go ahead. Good evening, everybody. I'm Colonel Vijay Kumar. I'm Mr. Subbarau's son, and I just wanted to say a few words about my father. Firstly, his personal life, totally well disciplined and dedicated in his profession. So I recollect, I will not talk about his professional side because you all may be knowing that he was a first IIT graduate from civil engineering in IIT Kharagpur. That was the first batch which he had joined. And subsequently, he did some couple of years with the Central Water Power Commission, and later joined the Border Roads. So in the Border Roads, I was a child, and he was posted in a project called Beacon, which had extended from Pathankot area till the whole of J&K. Actually, there was only one project at that time, Project Beacon. And he had served primarily in Udhampur and Srinagar, and a part of time was also spent in Dras. That is again a very cold area, more than minus 50 it goes at actually. Although Surya Prakash sir was saying 30, but those temperatures are even up to 50 minus they go. So his main younger days were in Project Beacon, and subsequently in his retirement stage, he was Commander 36 Border Roads Task Force in Northeast, his area of jurisdiction being from Agartala to, from Tripura to Silchar, and Silchar to Aizawl, those three states of part of South Assam and Mizoram and Agartala. So this was his, career. In between, of course, a lot of places we had seen as children. But then his dedication, what I wanted to mention, like, when we were children, we used to observe he would go just during the rain, when it was raining, he would go outside. And we used to always tell him, why are you going in the rain? Why don't you go when it stops on your tour duty? So he would say, no, this is the time when I would like to see where exactly on the hills the water is, stagnating on the roads, or wherever there is a trouble being created along the, burns of the roads and some certain things like that. So even he would undergo personal, discomfort to achieve certain aims of his profession. So that was my father during those, younger days. And later, of course, he was picked up while he was on a deputation with one of the foreign companies who were working in India. Subsequently, he left the Indian government and joined them. And then he subsequently joined later in the International Labour Organization. So he has got a vast experience of all these, which may be there in the resume. But I just thought, let me share some of his, personal life issues. My wife, Bharti, would also like to add something.
Hello, namaste. I think my father-in-law is a very dedicated person. As a daughter-in-law, I can say that. He used to always maintain his timings for food or exercise or anything, everything. He is one person. We all want to follow him as personally and see his dedication through our lives. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. You and sir is a nice tribute to your father-in-law and his father.
Yes,
I
sir.
think recently only Father's Day was there 2-3 days back. It's a
Yes,
great
yes,
tribute
yes.
from both the son and daughter-in-law. Thank you, sir, for coming on the screen and then attending this program. Every time I think you are attending.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
Bhavana
Yes.
madam also this time I think Bhavana madam did not come.
Yeah, she was
Nice,
not
very
from
nice,
Madan.
very nice. And is the institution of engineer is really benefited by every time every 21 endowment lectures we are conducting every year, like
Yes.
Subba garu, eminent engineers, and it
Yes,
is a
sir.
great honor for us also to
Yes.
remember all these great things done by the great engineers. So
Yes.
thank you for coming and saying for about few words about your father and his disciplined life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
I am Brahma Reddy, actually immediate past chairman, because earlier I did lot of 3 years continuously his program events, but this time the present chairman is not there. I am in the chair today.
Okay,
I am
sir.
Brahma
Okay,
Reddy.
sir.
Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you, Reddy Garu, for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, now no questions, nothing. So I move to next, Madam Aruna. Yeah, please, I request you to kindly propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Respected keynote speaker, Engineer P. Surya Prakash FIE, Council Member IEI and Managing Director of Satyavani Projects and Consultants Private Limited, Engineer B. Brahmareddy Garu FIE, Immediate Past Chairman IEI TSC and Chairman of the event, Venkat Subbaya Garu, Chairman of IEI TSC, Honorary Secretary Sitaram Babu Garu of IEI TSC, Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak, FIE, past chairman and committee member of IEI TSC, Engineer D. Rama, the convener of this event, Bhavana Madam, the daughter of Engineer G.V. Subba Rao, past presidents, council members of IEI, past chairman, past honorary secretaries, members of Telangana State Center Committee member, IEI corporate members, family members of Engineer G.V. Subba Rao, distinguished guests, on behalf of the Telangana State Center, on behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I convey our sincere and profound thanks to Engineer P. Surya Prakash Garu FIE, Council Member IEI and Managing Director of Satyavani Projects and Consultants Private Limited to deliver a talk on Engineer G.V. Subba Rao 9th Endowment Lecture on Challenges in Delivering Infrastructure Projects in Bordered Areas. I also thank the dignitaries, past presidents of IEI, past chairman of IEI TSC, past honorary secretaries of IEI TSC, council members, committee members, and my colleague Mari Ramesh Garu, committee member, the family members just now present, Mr. and Mrs. Bharati Madam, Bhavanaji, daughter of Engineer G.V. Subbarao Garu, corporate members, and others who made it convenient to join this event. I once again give a very big thanks to Krishnamurti Garu, who is the guru of today's eminent speaking talk, Engineer P. Surya Prakash, sir. I thank you one and all, and we race for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Okay, and అందరికీ good night. Thank you once
Yeah,
again,
yes.
Surya Prakash
Thank
garu,
you.
and
Thank you,
all
sir.
other members. I think
Thank you,
it
sir.
touched almost 40 plus. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
a good number also. Recently, 30 touching itself is a great number.
Sir,
Now
good
this
evening.
class.
Yes, sir, good evening.
Yeah, Dr. Rameshwara garu, namaste andi.
After long
I
time,
think,
we'll చూస్తున్నాం
Sir,
సార్.
namaste, sir. Rameshwara, sir.
నమస్తే నమస్తే అరుణ నమస్తే.
Nice to see you, sir.
Sir, V.S. Rao sir. Namaste sir. బాగున్నారా? హెల్త్ ఎలా ఉంది ఏంటి?
ఎస్ఎల్ఎన్ శాస్త్రి గారు కూడా వచ్చారు. గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
So many seniors have come today. Really is great.
మోస్ట్ పర్సన్స్ అవును సార్.